Welcome to CTV News, Your Canada. It's Friday, May 23rd. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
An honor to be in the conversation in itself.
He has reached the top of his game and is considered one of the best basketball players in the world. And for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the road to success started in this Hamilton High School gym not long ago.
I think most kids in the community and in any small town or large town in Ontario and Canada can see themselves in Shai. He's just a regular kid that worked really hard and took every opportunity that he had to make something of himself. So I think that's eye-opening for any kid who has a dream.
His former coach says Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's also known as Shai, or SGA for short, was a regular kid in many ways, but he was a great athlete who was dedicated and determined. Last night, Shai, who stars for the Oklahoma City Thunder, was named the most valuable player in the NBA, only the second Canadian to ever win the award. Victoria's Steve Nash won MVP awards in 2005 and 2006.
This is the first Canadian basketball player I knew of, and without seeing guys go to the NBA from Canada, it wouldn't have been as much of a dream as it was for us as kids growing up. So to be in a conversation with a guy like that and what he's meant to not only basketball but to the country of Canada, it's been special.
You know, you can only imagine and get excited about all the kids around the world, but in particular Canadians that will be affected so positively, whether they're basketball players or not, by the way he carries himself, by the way he kind of executes and commits to his profession.
Back at his Hamilton High School today, students and staff at Sir Allan MacNab attended an assembly to celebrate the award. The school also unveiled a new mural on the exterior wall of the gymnasium.
It's a huge inspiration, especially as a young kid coming out of Hamilton, seeing what he's doing. It's a huge inspiration for us.
After winning the award, Shai thanked his teammates and surprised each of them with a new Rolex watch. Back in the gym, there were some cookies with Shai's face on them to mark the occasion. John Musselman, CTV News in Hamilton.
School and the teachers were noticing that, but
14-year-old Mario Futia is well known at the Montreal Children's Hospital. He's been coming here his entire life.
What grade are you in, Mario?
Grade 1.
We first met him 8 years ago. Mario was born with kidney failure and underwent a transplant when he was 2 years old, but his body rejected it. Since then, he's been on dialysis several times a week for hours at a time.
it was bothering me, it was annoying me, it was irritating me, because I wanted to go to school because there were trips, holidays, all these fun stuff, but I couldn't go because I had to go to dialysis.
But in December, everything changed. His uncle had a heart attack and went into coma. The family was faced with a tough decision.
You know, it was hard, very hard, because now I'm in between my father's death and saving my cousin's life.
And saving his cousin's life was not guaranteed. Mario's condition is rare, and his body rejects almost every donor. So doctors only had one shot.
We were able to develop a new desensitization protocol, which means we were able to decrease the antibodies he had towards that kidney and finally accept that kidney.
The transplant, a first of its kind in Canada, was a success.
A second attempt for a new lease on life.
And for the family that's been on an emotional roller coaster again and again, finally, reason to be grateful.
Thank you for life. Not for today, tomorrow, 5 years, for the life.
Mario will have to come back for routine checkups, but for now, he's off the machines. After spending most of his childhood inside a hospital, he finally gets to leave and enjoy just being a kid, all thanks to his uncle. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
Greg Edwards has been leading Westwood Collegiate Band students like this grade 9 class for the past 25 years.
Making music together as a team and being involved in something that's bigger than you. It's not about your clarinet part, it's about the band.
The students are getting ready for the high school's year-end concert, and for Edwards, it's also the end of an era. He's retiring after teaching band for 31 years.
I want to be remembered as someone who did some good work and really made some great memories with these young people.
More memories are still to come. Edwards is assembling a band of more than 90 former students to perform at an alumni gala in June.
I've only known him for 4 years, but just to be able to be part of the group that helps wrap up his final concert is very special.
I hope he feels all the feels because he deserves to have this moment, and he has just had such an impact on so many people.
Edwards says the idea came to him after years of bumping into former students around Winnipeg.
They're always like, Mr. Edwards, I miss making music. I love listening to music and I do it so actively, but I really just miss this. I want to play my clarinet again, or I want to play the tuba again, one last time kind of idea.
Edwards' swan song isn't just about sharing the stage one last time. It's about giving back. He's donating all money raised from ticket sales to Cancer Care Manitoba.
I have lost so many people in my life, students, parents, former clinicians, to cancer.
He says the concert is a tribute to those people and a celebration of the relationships and life lessons learned through music.
Just to soak it in and enjoy it. Sometimes we get so focused on playing our instrument and being in the moment that we don't actually look around and just soak it all in and enjoy that applause. It's for you.
Daniel Halmerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
It started with a single kilometer. Back then, 9-year-old Lyndon wasn't thinking about marathons. He just wanted to run.
School, I just run around and play all the time.
More than a year ago, he ran his first race, and with each finish line, the distance grew, and so did his determination.
Last year, I did the 5K for the Blue Nose and then the Valley 10. And then hypo half.
He really just enjoyed it and intrinsically was, motivated to keep going further, which was...
What'd you just do?
10K.
Yeah. Lyndon's father is a trainer and made sure every step of his journey was supported and safe. That included working with the chiropractor.
He's had no injuries this whole training program, and we monitored things. His growth has been standard for his height growing.
Lyndon's 10th birthday was just one day before the Blue Nose Marathon, but he was adamant he'd run a full 42.2 kilometers as a 9-year-old.
I ran a marathon 2 weeks before it and didn't tell anybody. Just on my own with my dad on the BLT trail.
A quiet victory before taking on the challenge again, this time with thousands of others at the Blue Nose Marathon.
Felt good when I crossed the finish line and very tiring.
The last 15K of the marathon, he was a happy kid, smiling and laughing or making jokes, so it all kind of turned out to be the perfect day.
But this wasn't just a personal goal for Lyndon. He was running for something bigger.
My grandfather passed away from cancer a year ago, and my other grandfather also has cancer, so decided to raise money for cancer research.
Lyndon doesn't know what's next. For now, he's just happy with the steps he's taken, with his biggest supporter by his side.
It's been fun to encourage him, and I hope that other people do that and encourage their kids, but to the level that they want to take it to.
The Blue Nose Marathon may have crowned many champions this weekend, but one of its youngest proved you're never too small to go the distance. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Halifax.
Even on vacation, Jake Walters never misses an opportunity to show off his love for his hockey team. He posted this video, sneaking his way to a bar in Mexico to catch an Oilers playoff game.
I got a few looks walking around in a sweater in plus 35, but I take an Oilers jersey every time I travel.
Even on his honeymoon, the Oilers and the city of Edmonton got some love.
I had a bunch of people asking me where Edmonton is. It's a nice sweater. What's the city like? And so I'm always proud to talk about it.
Oilers fandom knows no boundaries or time zones.
It starts at 7 p.m. Mountain. It's usually 2 a.m. here in the UK.
Russ Jericho was born and raised in the UK. Although he's thousands of kilometers away, he watches the games live.
I haven't missed a game so far this season. Last night's game was game 105. I've seen all of them.
He's earned a following with Oilers fans posting videos online after games.
4:27 a.m. Thursday morning, Blackpool. It is a 7-game series, so if you're panicking, don't panic.
Jericho has visited Edmonton 3 times to watch the Oilers, including a jaunt down the QE2.
I got to see a road game and a Battle of Alberta all at the same time, just like bucket list items that were just waiting to be fulfilled.
Many fans from abroad have a love for the orange and blue, like this fan who flew in from the UK solo to watch the Oilers play twice. Or this fan from Germany who had to see fellow countryman Leon Draisaitl play in person. Our neighbors from the south are also getting in on the love, like this group from Nebraska. And this supporter in Pennsylvania, who could cheer for the two NHL teams in that state, but chooses the Oilers, driving support for the home team from afar. Naram Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Jackets, and we got this, an empty hanger.
From shirts to shoes and everything in between, you don't know what you'll find at Fabled Fashion.
I definitely think that we get some really good stuff, and especially with our dresses, there's some really unique ones, which is really cool.
Tucked into a busy corner of a Cambridge high school, the secondhand clothing shop caters to students and staff.
Putting fancy clothes out for people who can't afford it, and I think that's pretty nice.
The process is pretty simple. Students and staff here at Jacob Hessler Secondary School can donate their unused clothes and accessories and take anything they want off the racks for free.
Students always with this economy and stuff really need to have opportunities not only for free food but also for free clothing.
Laura Wilby, a teacher at the school, came up with the idea a few years ago in hopes of encouraging sustainable shopping and promoting inclusivity.
We decided to start this so that all students can be equal and feel like they belong here.
And help reduce the stigma surrounding secondhand style.
I really want people to feel like they can just take it and not feel ashamed to wear it, and they can wear whatever they want, whenever they want, take it if they need, and don't have to tell anyone a reason why they have to take it.
This is flipped.
The collection changes seasonally, with spring and summer styles coming in hot and flying off the racks.
There's been over 100 people that have taken clothing already, and we still have lots here.
A lot of more people actually took a lot of things, and I guess that really gave us the motivation to just keep going because we knew that this was actually going to be something.
The positive feedback fueling plans for Fabled Fashion's future.
Make it bigger and to make it more so that it's fun, and it's not just because you need clothes, but you want to be here and you want to take stuff, and then maybe it will decrease parents spending costs as well.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Cambridge.
They're making a greenhouse for their science class out of leftover wood. Carson Brown has always loved building, but not always school.
Every other school year, all my grades were failing. I didn't want to show up to school. I had zero interest. But this school year, it's hands-on. You get to build a house, and you can gain more credits through this program to graduate.
Brown and the other students in his class have spent their school year here on the job site, working with all the trades in the Building Futures program.
Because lots of kids come in having never held a tape measure, so you have to think about that. They start at ground zero. So are they going to leave being a professional framer or plumber? No, but the seed is planted, and if they find an interest or a joy in it, then they know what to pursue.
Sherry McAllister says McKee Homes started the program in 2013, and it's since spread to other communities across the province. While this is their classroom for the year, they still follow the grade 10 curriculum.
We do all their math, science, English, social studies, as well as a whole plethora of CTS credits, as well as their gym and their comm and everything. And so the building of the house is a big part of their CTS, so as opposed to options at a high school, you would have this instead.
Not only do the students discover construction, but they learn about drafting and business skills. They also hear about mortgages, credit, and lending. This group came up with the design elements, from the flooring to the backsplash.
Definitely the pattern that we chose, the herringbone. It adds visual appeal without adding being too bold with the color and stuff, because you don't know who's moving into the house and what they'll like for the house.
Brown says this program has been a game changer for him.
I love framing, which we're able to do here, and it was just a very enjoyable trade, so that's what I want to be able to do later on as well.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Airdrie.
I checked what the world record was for a half marathon, and it was 2 hours and 1 minute.
Radwan Makbul is lacing up for Ottawa race weekend, except the shoes he's using have no laces.
My goal is to try and beat the world record for fastest time for a half marathon in Crocs.
Makbul's goal is to set a Guinness World Record. He trains in traditional shoes, but switches to Crocs to test if he's ready.
I do put like some good miles in on the Crocs just to kind of get used to it. But like majority of my training is just like with regular runners, and then I'll run in Crocs to see if that's kind of translating and if I'm trying to meet my goal.
It's going to be a challenge, to say the least.
Makbul will be one of roughly 37,000 runners taking part in Ottawa Race Weekend. Most participants will rely on high-performance running shoes, and there will be curiosity on how the Crocs runner will fare.
And especially it's going to be a little wet this weekend, so that might be, the traction might not be there. It will be a challenge. However, we got a fast course, and if the guy is fit, he'll be able to do just fine.
It's going to be interesting.
Even seasoned running experts are curious to see how it turns out.
Who knows? It might work out for him. They're not the most cushiony shoes in the world, but, we'll see what happens, I guess, on race day with him.
Makbul is focused on the half marathon for now, but he's already thinking about what might come next.
Who knows? Maybe in the future might do a full marathon, but I feel like 42 kilometers is a bit too much. Gotta put him in sport mode. Can't forget.
Radwan Makbul will make his world record attempt on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Horses have played a role with the RCMP for over 150 years, with the musical ride displaying the peak of excellence. Only the finest horses are chosen, and in 1969, the best horse in the group was presented to Queen Elizabeth.
There are various members who probably rode Burmese a little bit before we even knew that she was going to be the horse presented to the Queen.
Members of the 1969 musical ride are holding a reunion in Regina.
It means more, say, now than we might have thought it meant at the time we were doing it, because we were simply doing our job, riding 4 feet, nose to croup, doing our thing, looking after the horse, going here, going there, and just doing it. But when you look back now, 56 years later, that was a pretty special tour.
Burmese was a mare raised in Saskatchewan, and it quickly became the Queen's favorite horse. During a 2006 visit to the province, the Queen unveiled a statue at the Legislative Building depicting her riding Burmese.
She was very engaged with horses, yeah. And of course, she loved Burmese. By the time she put her to rest, a long relationship with Burmese, yeah.
The Queen chose not to replace it, perhaps signifying her esteem for the horse. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Applause rings throughout the classroom as students, teachers, and automotive industry leaders gathered at Georgian College to celebrate the launch of a new PBS Systems Innovation Lab. For students like Jonathan Trepanier, the technology is setting up students for success in the automotive field.
So people usually they get into the job market and they discover kind of what they're actually going to do with their job. Well, for us, we already know what we're going to do, and we already have that step, so maybe there's like a couple of years that we can skip.
Georgian College and PBS Systems have partnered once again to bring an innovation lab with a focus on digital tools.
We really want to always teach ahead of the curve, and the industry changes so rapidly. So this space, as you can see, is larger, more innovative, and ready for our students.
The new system enables students to learn how dealerships operate from sales to servicing.
The students will have access to a fully functional version of the system with data so that they can learn how to create those repair orders, create those parts invoices, manage inventory, learn how financial statements are generated.
Students also have access to Dealer Academy.
It's just like they're working in a store. And those tools, the technology, the software, the training materials, they're all updated every single day, every single week, every single month as the software, as the industry, as technology evolves. So they will always be ahead of the course.
Top of the line education that students benefit from.
Just with what we learn, the teachers we have, even with the co-ops that we have, you get so much experience out of the program.
Georgian College students began using the new software earlier this year. Now, school officials are hoping that the software will keep future students technologically ahead of the curve for years to come. Luke Smart, CTV News, Barrie.
Way to go. After nearly 2 years of construction and conservation, the ribbon has been cut on a revitalized heritage landmark.
It's amazing.
2 years of hard work, almost 200 years of preservation, and hopefully 200 years more.
In recognition of Museum Month, the historic home of John and Amelia Park reopened today following a massive restoration effort which began in fall 2022.
This building was originally constructed in 1842. Other than the Bobby House in Windsor and a couple of other isolated structures, there is nothing of that vintage in this region.
The homestead offers a rare look at early settler life along Lake Erie. Officials say it's more than just a museum. It's a living classroom with costumed interpreters, heritage gardens, and even a working blacksmith shop.
You can notice some of those great colors and how that beautiful paint color really works with that black walnut trim.
This is where people need to come and understand where Canadians actually started.
The manor needed major work done inside and out after an historic powder post beetle infestation and decades of bearing the year-round force of Lake Erie.
And to allow this just to disappear and be gone, you will never ever see the likes of this come back. It is a critical component of who we are and who we are as a people in this region.
We just want to make sure that it's here for our future generations to make sure that they know where we came from and how to grow.
The project cost about $1 million and was possible in part thanks to donations.
We're Canadian, right? And we're proud of our heritage.
A tribute to Sue Desjardins was also unveiled, honoring the late LaSalle councillor who served on the advisory board for the park homestead.
We have a wonderful bench dedicated to her right on the view of Lake Erie. So every time you sit there, her smile is just going to bless down upon us.
And it's not over yet. Several more buildings on the property are in need of repair, and sites are now set on raising more funds to continue preserving the local legacy.
Together, we are not just preserving these significant buildings. We are preserving our heritage.
In Essex, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
For as long as she can recall, Deborah Kessler's been inspired by the natural world.
It's awesome. It's beautiful.
It's maybe why her younger self climbed on this couch to pose with flowers on the wall before wishing for a Christmas gift to draw in her sketchbook.
And I love drawing animals. That's my big thing.
Although she grew up to work as an archaeologist and nurse, Deborah always found comfort sketching outside.
It's calming.
Until that day on the farm that couldn't have been more traumatizing.
I was in so much shock. I don't remember it.
But Deborah will never forget how the doctors told her family the farm equipment accident had caused such debilitating internal and external injuries she likely wouldn't survive 24 hours.
I had a doctor ask me before I went into surgery, what was the one thing I wanted to live for? And I said, because I have kids.
The single mother of 3 and first-time grandma ended up spending 6 weeks in a coma and 7 months in hospital before returning home, leaving both arms behind.
Where do I go from here? Like, what do I do now?
Who am I?
Yeah.
While she struggled to answer those questions for almost a decade, her community of kids, care workers, and Indigenous elders encouraged her to find a way to reconnect with the world.
My life didn't end. It changed. And because my life changed, I accept those changes and move forward with them.
Well, Deborah persevered, determined to do art differently, and mastered painting with her mouth before earning a degree in fine arts and being accepted into national and international art associations.
I think I'm better than I was before.
Than before the accident.
How does that feel? Awesome.
Which is why Deborah so gratefully gives back now, from sharing her talents with youth in the classroom to volunteering for donors at Canadian Blood Services clinics.
If it wouldn't have been for that blood that people had donated, I wouldn't be here today.
And instead of mourning for what was, Deborah's focused on embracing what is.
There's enough ugly things in this world. I love beauty and I love reflecting beauty. I want my artwork to make people happy.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Souk.